We actually do that in the interview. We do literally a 3-minute hands-on portion, and that kind of checks the box to see, can this dude pull the cord hard enough to start it? I think that might create some diversion in the team with starting at separate locations. We're gonna pull a report. All the customers that booked that got a door hanger, everybody that did it on the right side, you're gonna get a $25 bonus. If you get 10 customers, that's a $250 bonus you're gonna get. If the guy on the left walked fast and did way more door hangers and got us 20 customers, he's gonna get a $500 bonus at the end of the month. All right, so today we have Eric out of Philadelphia. Eric, thank you for joining me today. If you could maybe give the audience like a 20-second snippet of where you're at in business, and then we can jump into the Q&As and see how I can help.
All right, sounds great. Welcome, everybody. Thank you very much for your time, Will. Thank you, everybody else that's watching. Northwest Philadelphia, specifically Mount Airy, Southern Montgomery County. Last year, we are at 289, 287, 2 full-time guys, but they're under the table. Didn't want to do that, but they're the only ones that stayed. Currently, I'm in the midst of trying to hire through Indeed. So I had 40 applicants in 7 days. So right now I'm using this snow opportunity to just, hey, you want to work, to show face, to see who can, who really wants it. Because I think if they come in the winter, they're definitely going to come in the spring. So I'm hoping that I can get a couple, 2 full-time probably, and a couple part-time. Because as you know, it's a revolving door that we never really want it to continue. Hopefully I catch a big one, catch somebody good that wants to stay.
Yeah, absolutely. We normally make our best hires in February. I don't know what it is, but the best ones come in February. So
yeah.
So Eric, what is the goal? What is the long-term plan for this? Like 5 years, 10 years down the road, where you're doing almost 300,000 a year now. Where do you want to take this?
Yeah. So this goal was actually like a 15-year goal, and I got it in 3 years. So now things have changed. One reason for my call is I will be moving to Philadelphia. So therefore now I'll be doing another branch kind of prematurely, honestly. Yeah, I got to make moves for the family. So I'm trying to keep this fluid and keep it going. But I guess the token number is 1 million. Of course, everyone's not capable of that, and depending on their demographic of homes and all that stuff, but we're in a pretty tight area that no advertising, thank God, got me to where I'm at now. 10 years out of it, just trying to be on a boat somewhere, enjoy life. The wife wants to, she's all, wives deserve greatness, so we got to work hard so we can provide for them. So
Absolutely. So are you looking to do like multi locations to 1 million, or you want this location that you're at to be doing 1 million itself?
Oh, great question, Will. I'd say, if it's 1 million, sure. I think right now I want this location to break 4 right now. I think that's the first goal for this year, but I can definitely see it getting to 1 million. I just got to find a shop space. But I think as long as I have people working and, I treat them right and with respect, and they stay around, I'm sure it can definitely hit easily 1 million.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, that helps me out, kind of gauge kind of like where you're wanting to take this thing. So that way I can answer the questions better for you. So yeah, what questions do you have for me? If you have them written down, we can jump into them.
Yeah, definitely. Let me just grab it here. So the main concern as I'm looking for this is, the main concern, like I mentioned, is me moving to New Jersey. So a lot of the questions that I'm going to have are related to that. I broke it down to just that general moving to Jersey, things that I'm currently doing, the idea of maybe two crew type of deal, but starting in different locations. How do I guess, I know something basic probably, but how do I present certain documents? So like, for instance, of course, I'm gonna have documents that are going to be for training and orientation, but how should I, basically, what are things I need to make sure I have in place for things to flow? So when they have questions, they immediately have answers just by opening up a notebook or something.
Yeah, so that is a good question, because when you build out to multi-locations, like, things will break because you're not the one overseeing it. And if you could do 2, you can do 10. It's two is hard. Two is hard. We're going through it right now. So, we're still learning and figuring things out. But off the top of my head, my initial questions or thoughts would be, number one, how are you paying your crews? Is it just hourly salary, or are we on like some kind of commission or P for P base?
Yeah, so it is hourly, but the way I've always worked is that if it's 7 to 3, it's 7 to 3. So if you finish earlier, you're still getting your 8 hours. So it's not necessarily pay for performance, but at least you're still getting your hours, and you're still being kind of awarded for finishing up efficiently.
Okay, that's cool. So I like that. That makes sense to me.
Mhm.
My first thing was going to say definitely have to have some kind of performance pay.
Right.
That's not exactly it, but it's pretty close. I like that. I think you can definitely put a good maybe manager in place or someone over there that's a crew lead that can kind of run the location where you don't have to show up every day with that model. I
Exactly.
think that's good because then you're attracting people that want to work hard and go home, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. So your question was basically as far as documentations go. Honestly, what I would do, Eric, is what we're doing right now is we just basically created a Google Drive
Right.
for our locations.
Okay.
And if you go to google.admin.com, I think it is, that's where you can create like a actual like Google admin account where you can actually start to manage the thing properly. Most people will try to use Google Drive with their like personal Gmail and it just doesn't work really well. You
Right.
want to be able to have the icon on the left where it has like shared drives. So that way you can really give access to people and teams.
Okay.
Um, and then it makes it easier too when you're onboarding and offboarding employees. And this might be a little deep, but I just wanted to give my explanation
Yeah,
behind it.
please.
But what we've learned, so we used to use Outlook for like emails, and then we would assign like the manager like their first dot last name.
Right.
But the reality is what you said earlier on this call, business is a revolving door. There's
Right.
people coming and going. That's natural in a business. It's normal. So instead of having a general manager come in and their emails first out last and they leave and all the emails are going to that person's
Yeah.
email, we need to create a general manager email. So that way, if that guy leaves, the next GM steps up, they can pull the backlog of all the emails and it's plug and play. Right, doesn't skip a beat. So that's one of the things that we kind of messed up on in the beginning, but we're shifting over. Also on that, you can create shared folders, and then
Right.
that's where you would put all of your resources.
Right.
So, we have a shared resources folder. We have like sales, admin, and operations. Those are the
Okay.
three main folders, and then we break those down. And it's like in operations, you'll have hiring documentation, training documentation, just everything like to operate the business should go in there,
Right.
and vice versa.
Okay, no, that sounds good. That's relieving because I currently do have a couple folders for like orientation, office orientation, stuff like that. But I guess when it comes to presenting it, just share it. And then I guess when it comes down to if you're doing the orientation or training, just say, hey, open up this first one, even though it might not be in a fluid order. It's just like, hey, I don't know how to take calls, price chart. It could be random, I guess, or is there like a way to make it flow? I think that's my concern.
Yeah, what we do is we actually title them certain things. So like they'll
Mhm.
all be under the folder, and then if it like let's say it's in the operations folder and it's designated to ops, it would have ops OPS with a colon and then the title of the document. If it's hiring, it would have hiring colon. So you could start to label the categories underneath a folder. That will help maybe you can also do a number, like you can number them certain ways. I've seen people do that before. But when you say like present, like who's presenting and what are they presenting?
So we haven't done like a real orientation yet. We tried last year, early spring, but again, during the humdrum, you can't do it. So I
Mhm.
was kind of like just presenting something like when it was like, I had a couple new hires. I was just saying, hey, this is how we do. Could we use Yardbook? This is how you do this. This is how you do that. This is our handbook. And of course, people start zoning out. So I guess I didn't know if I guess there is no golden egg in presenting these things to your crew or.
So the way that I would break that up, Eric, is the handbook and all the really important documents. You can use DocuSign and have them go in and initial on every single page of the company handbook, and then at the bottom they sign it. And then what you'll do is you'll have your hourly rate, and here's how you get paid. You have your pre-employment drug test agreement. You have your uniform shirt size. You have your I-9, your W-2, all of these documents that you have to basically sign on DocuSign. So when you offer the job to somebody, you send them that packet. So when they show up on day one, you tell them this needs to be filled out before you get to orientation, before your start date. So on your own time, not mine, you're going to fill out all these documents. And then when they show up, that's where you would actually present the key stuff. You don't need to go through the handbook. But what I would do, Eric, is I would create a 1-page mini handbook of every important detail. What does tardy mean? Like, like how soon should I ask for time off? Who should I ask for time off? Like all of these key questions that, what are the benefits? Like everything in this 1-page document that together we're going to go through and have you sign at the bottom so you understand. Yeah, they're going to be falling asleep if you go through the whole handbook. And then what we do is we do have a PowerPoint. There's actually 4 of them, unfortunately. And I always tell them death by PowerPoint on day 1. Sorry,
Right,
guys,
right,
but
right,
just is what it is.
right. Okay.
And that's, 2 hours or 3 hours of PowerPoints. Yeah, they're typically falling asleep. That's normal, but we could
Right.
probably condense that into maybe like 1 or 2 PowerPoints and just have like a power hour. Like, hey, for the next 60 minutes, just give them the stuff they need. What's the uniform? What's the, just every like important thing that they need to know. No smoking in the vehicles, stuff like that.
Right. All right. So basically, like the common sense stuff that we think is common, but not so common.
Yeah, so like we go over parking, like where to park,
Right.
because like our
Right.
parking lot's growing. Just
Okay.
all the key stuff.
Okay.
Where are the gas cards in the truck? Because that matters. How do we store equipment? Yeah, just that basic stuff is important. We have, I think it's 3 different PowerPoint slides. You have your basics, which is like where to park, what the hours are, just all like the basic stuff of the job. And then we have like lawn maintenance training. It's like,
Right.
hey, when you're mowing, like these are the settings that we normally mow on. Hey, here's 3 pictures of like a scalped lawn, a perfect cut lawn, and like way too high. Like this is the image we're trying to get, right? So you'll have like different categories, but yeah, try not to probably spend more than like maybe couple hours. And then and what we also do too, now that we've learned, because yes, they do it after 15 minutes, 30 minutes, they're falling asleep.
Right. Right.
So what we do is we'll do one of the PowerPoints and then we'll be like, all right, we're going to do a shop tour now. And we're going to walk them out. We're going to show them the trucks, because it's orientation. You don't want to just throw them up in the truck on day
Right.
1. And then that breaks it up to where they're not falling asleep the whole time. And then we come back and do another PowerPoint.
Okay. Okay. I like that. Staggering it kind of.
And you can do that twice. You could do a shop tour. And then the next time you can say, all right, well, now we're going to do a truck tour. Let me show you the ramps we use. Because that's what they like, dude. That's what
Right.
all the blue collar people, oh man, look at the weed eater racks.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah. No, understood. And then that because that's something I was thinking about doing too. Like I guess like it's a shop tour. That's a more PowerPoint, I guess you're saying. And then one of the things I wanted, hey, here's the weed whacker, turn it on. Because everyone says, oh, I've been doing it for 10 years, but then they can't even turn on a stinking mower. So it's like, okay, that's gonna again show me, are you a liar? And I'm not trying to catch anybody or anything because we're all adults, but it lets me know what I have and what we need to focus on.
We actually do that in the interview.
Oh.
We do literally a 3-minute hands-on portion, and that kind of checks the box to see, just like literally they just pull the weed eater, they weed eat for 1 minute. Weed eat that tree, like weed eat that one tree. That's all I want to see. And literally in 60 seconds, I can tell, can this dude pull the cord hard enough to start it? Or is he struggling, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, this is a physical job, so yeah, we try to do that in there. And then that way in orientation, it's really just orientation. We let the trainer out in the field really kind of do the hands-on training stuff,
Okay. So I think that's like my main question there on just like the how-tos, because I think I do have, because my mind wanders all the time. So I'm always creating some sort of document, even though there's probably some layover in between. But I think what it was, I was just concerned on the order of things. But like you're saying, just not necessarily in order, but just more grouping it in specific, in the main areas. Like, like you said, lawn mowing and basics, those are 2 examples.
Yeah. There's another thing, Eric. It's called Connect Team. It's an app. It's a free up to 10 users. That thing is really nice because you can actually, it's just kind of like we use WhatsApp right now for communication, for team communication, but it does the same thing where you have those like chat groups. But what's cool about that, there's a knowledge base section on there that you can actually put all of the key documents that you need and that everybody needs access to. So like, I'll give you an example. Back in the day, there's literally 5 questions that every new team member asks me. What do I do if there's a pet outside? What do I do if the gate's locked?
Right.
What do I do in this scenario? Right. All those like if there's damage, right? Like there's like 5 questions that if I had more time, I could tell you what they are. But normally what we would do is we would print out that sheet and then put it out in the shed.
Right.
That would be a documentation that you would want everybody access to. So when they call you while they're in the field, and they say, hey, Eric, this customer's gate's locked. What do you want me to do? You say, okay, did you pull up the knowledge base? Did you look at the documentation? How about you do that and then call me back if you have questions?
Right.
So
like
now we're building systems and processes to not be the bottleneck in the business. And so you can't be the guy that answers every single phone call that comes through. Otherwise, you and I aren't going to get anything done. right? You got to provide them with the resources they need to do their jobs. And Connect Team is a really good app to do that.
Right. Okay. Connect Teams, plural.
I think it's just Connect Team.
Okay. I'll look for them. Definitely. Thank you. That's good. I feel like WhatsApp kind of gets sloppy, but if this one's a little more organized, it'll keep me organized too.
Yeah.
So then the next question, I guess so my thing is, I don't go anything more than 5 miles from where I am. So that's my radius, but I had to get a shop that's at my most north because it was big, it was cheap. It allowed me to have some sort of space. So now, and when I was working, it's okay. I'm okay with driving that 20 minutes or whatnot, but obviously we don't want our guys that just drive 20 minutes back and forth. So I do have a lot of interest in workers, and I do have some guy that works at the yard that I get mulch and salt and stuff from. And I know he and his son been interested in working part-time for me, and they're in the southern part of my routes. So I was thinking for this coming year, and he's been with his company for so many years that already shows, I know him, so he already shows trust. I was thinking about just having him and his son doing the southernmost route. So then I'll knock off at least probably like 8 minutes of driving time for the people that are coming up from the northern part. I was thinking about just having like 2 sections, even though not necessarily 2 locations, but one crew that's starting and only doing the southern part, if that makes sense.
Where would you park the vehicles? Would it be at 2 separate locations?
Yeah, exactly. I currently, where I have because again, I don't want to drive all the way up there when most of my routes near my house. So I just keep my truck and my trailer on one of the streets that's been there for 3 years. I was thinking of maybe keeping it there again, but maybe I shouldn't. I don't know if I should be saying that out loud, but and then they can just go grab it from there.
Yeah, I think that normally I would say no, but because the reason for why I would say that's probably not a good idea for most people is I think that might create some diversion in the team with starting at separate locations. Plus, like there has to be somebody in charge somewhere somehow that is like tracking who's showing up late or who's falling behind or who's not putting the gas cans back where they need to be, right? Like just all the basic stuff, right? And it's going to be difficult if you have 2 separate locations because now you need kind of 2 lead guys that you can really trust to be your right-hand man in those areas. But if your goal is to build out 2 multi-locations, this will be a really good test for you to see how people operate without your supervision. So because of those goals and what you want, this might be a really good temperature check to see, okay, if I'm not going to show up on the south end of this territory and I got 2 guys showing up, let's see how I manage them. Like, let's see, do I got to check the dispatch board every day to see if they're even clocked in, right? Like, how am I going to start to process this? Because when you move to that other section of Philadelphia, like you're going to have to figure this out. So,
yeah,
you're going to have to.
I'll be moving to Jersey, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Jersey. Yeah. So this might be a good kind of training wheel portion.
Yeah. Yeah. And then this guy that I have that wants to start the South, he's already he knows how to do a lot more than I know. I don't know how to drive bobcat and all that stuff. And it'll just be him and his son. And the 2 sections will never be together anyways. So it's not like these people up here like, what are they doing? And then they're not going to say, hey, what are they doing? Because they don't necessarily know each other exist. They're not going to know anything except their group. This person already knows that I have a shop up here, but I'm interested in them just working down here. So there won't be divide necessarily in the crew because they don't know that they exist. And the only thing that will bounce back and forth is that the husband and wife want to work part-time, just 2 or 3 days a week. And then the son wants to work full-time. So I was thinking the son can just work with his mom and dad during those 2 or 3 days. And then the other day there, and then he will kind of be the eyes and of everybody and just not necessarily in charge, but he can hey, Papi, hey dad, I saw them doing this. They shouldn't have been doing that, and then the guy can reach out to me. So he's kind of trying to keep ears on everything just in case. And yeah, so
yeah, cool. I like it. I think it's good. I think you could do that. Saving the drive time.
Yeah. And then just keep the truck and trailer where they're at already. Just makes sense to me because my neighbors already know it's always there. And it's, the one stand on or riding mower is going to be in there, blowers, a couple of weed whackers, and that's all they need.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that kind of just came up randomly. And that's, of course, now that changes things. I'm like, okay, well, kind of jumping the gun here, but like you said, let's just see who does what. And then if this guy likes how I roll and how things are looking and that there is indeed a lot of work, and if he wants to come on full time, he would definitely be somebody to have that leadership role that you were talking about. And then would you say, because I don't necessarily want to tell anybody, hey, you're a supervisor or a GM, because you hear that name, you hear that title, you're like, ooh, money. I was thinking more of just, hey, you're just a crew leader. That's it. I'm talking to you often. You're going to have a little more bump in pay because you're obviously riding the trucks. You're full time. You're going to be, the first one to get the hours when we're slower, making sure that you're fed. And that's that. But I don't necessarily want supervisor title or any, I don't want a title because again, that means a lot more money. And at 3 or 2 and change, doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Are they going to have a different pay than the other people?
Yeah. So anybody that drives the trucks gets more pay. So anybody that has a license, works full time. In general, if you drive the truck, yes, you have more responsibility, so you get more money.
Yeah. Okay. So then that makes sense to me.
Okay. And I think that's good for my questions. But you mentioned about the pay. I do have incentive programs in place just to make sure our equipment is good. There's a bonus for that. No complaints. So no complaints for a month, a bonus for that. And then a client referral. So either a chunk of change if they want, or they get, this is my idea. People are like, oh, it's kind of risky. But if they bring somebody in, they get perpetuity of that client, 2 or 3% of the profit for as long as they work with me. And then that just helps them bring in clients. Oh, I want more, I want more, I want more. Because I'm not going to keep on raising base pay. Just you bring in 100 people, you bring 1,000 people. There's no ceiling. One is going to give us all work. You're getting a chunk of change at every quarter, and I think that's kind of cool. But only one person advantage, but they only brought one client, so it's like what, $10?
Yeah. I think that's really cool. How would you track that?
So it depends on how they do this. So well, whenever we if they call, they say, hey, I don't know, Will gave me his card, or Will did this. Will they name drop? That's your client.
Yeah.
And
but like, how would you track how much revenue? Are you just going to pay it out at the end of the year? Are you paying it out every okay, quarterly?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. It'll be quarterly.
So you go back and run those reports.
Exactly. And then I think that would also give those crew members a sense of responsibility, or the sense of like, wanting to make sure that client's being dealt with accordingly, because they don't want to lose that client just because somebody else mowed that lawn wrong and now they leave because they're like, oh wait, that was my client, that was my money. So of course that's gonna, I feel like, give them, not entitlement, I can't figure out the term I'm looking for, but want to make sure they're doing a good job.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, okay. If you can track that and pay them out for that stuff, that makes sense. Right. I like that.
Right. Cool. Alrighty. You can take that too if you want. Just name drop me. Okay, so I think that's good on my questions. I don't know if you have any questions or how this works necessarily.
I think just and because I got to kind of head out of here a little sooner than normal, but I think my only really big thing for you, Eric, is you did 289 last year.
Yeah.
Goal is ideally if you could hit 400,000 this year, right?
Yeah. Yep.
What do you think is the biggest bottleneck, something that needs to be fixed or like figured out to make that happen? Like what is the one thing that you think?
Yeah, so I'd say I got all that with no marketing. So I'm actually in the process of getting one of my trailers wrapped. So I think that's going to help out. And then some yard signs, and then really just the people bringing in money. So like the clients hope, not clients, the crew. I'm hoping that they are like, oh, I want to get a chunk of change, so let me just find more clients. And then maybe I might just pay for some advertising. I'm not sure what method of advertising, but obviously the cheapest, since again I never did anything, so any little bit is better than no bit. So I would say that. And then just again, if the clients are doing it or the crew is doing a great job, that's going to bring more eyes to those properties and bring in more people. But I'm gonna say I'm definitely going to need to bring in more clients, because right now I have 106 reoccurring mows, and of that I think like 53 are weekly, the rest are bi-weekly. But then one of them's is an apartment that they give me a good piece of that revenue. So and then I started packages, and I'm hoping that brings up like people wanting to keep people working 12 months a year. Like there's packages for mowing, one cleanup, and snow. So basically like a set fixed amount every month to just keep that revenue coming. And it is cheaper than a la carte. Not sure those numbers are going to make too much sense, but we're going to do it for a year, see how that rolls, see if we made good money and profit. And then if we did, then we'll keep those prices. And if not, we'll just raise them up. But I think going back to the wrap truck, once they see that beauty, because that thing's nice, I think that will bring in. But bottleneck, I don't know. I just making sure the crew's staying around, because obviously once they start dropping.
Yeah, I think the truck wrap is solid. That will definitely help bring a lot of volume. I think probably the only thing I would maybe add to that is getting like some door hangers.
Yes, I got to start doing those. Yeah.
And like not to say that you need to get like 20,000 of them, but
No.
like maybe like 5,000. And like when the time is right, where you guys are like starting your mowing season, and it's
Yeah.
like it's busy, like the phone's ringing. Let's do 5 around door
Right.
hangers on every client's property we have, so they see your
Right.
truck. Now they're getting a door hanger. And then if you have extra time, or on a rain day or something like that, which probably you don't want to do it on a rain day, but
Right.
you know, you hire a guy or two extra and they're getting off early, hey, let's do door hangers for a couple hours.
Right.
I
Right.
think the reason why I like door hangers is it's quicker and it's more instant. The truck wrap, typically with the branding, it's just like it's great because it typically lasts, 3 to 5 years or whatever. But it's, gradually, I mean, you'll definitely get volume from that. But I think the door hangers are more like a direct target, right? Because like you're hitting every single door and they have to physically pull that off. The truck is good if they're home, yes, they see it. But if they're like working class people that are gone from 8 to 5, and your truck is there at 1 in the afternoon to mow the
Right.
lawn, they're not
Right.
seeing it much. So I
Right.
think the door hanger would be a really good play, at least to get maybe like 5,000 of those. And yeah, man, you could probably pick up easily probably 10 to 30 clients off of those door hangers with that. And then
Okay.
that would hopefully be that link to get you up to that 350, and then like the natural wraps and like the other calls from the website probably coming in,
Right.
get you to 400 for
Right.
sure.
Okay. Now on the door hangers and even the what's it called, the yard signs, would you say I should just should I just I mean, because right, honestly, yes, I bought door hangers. I just never use them. I maybe random one or two when I'm lazy, but like when I said I don't do marketing, it's because I haven't done it. I still have them all right next to me, and I don't use them. But maybe it's because I don't like the design. Anyways, I agree with the door hangers. Should I create the door hangers that provide the packages immediately? So then at least if they are a 10,000 square foot property, boom, they can see their list of what their pay options would be and what the services come with it. Or should I just general mowing, individual a la carte door hangers?
Honestly, we tried the instant pricing last year and we just put way too much on the flyer and it just did not get a good return. I think just targeting, keeping them simple, one or two services, the core services. Think about the core services that like 80% of the business is made up of.
Right.
Just focus on those, maybe create an offer. The first 25 customers to call get this, right? I don't know, like create some kind of urgency and
Right.
scarcity,
Right.
like, and then, but dude, those other door hangers you have, that's cool. Like if you don't do door hangers, that's totally okay as a business owner. Just have your other people do it. The
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah. Yeah.
like if they get, like you said, they get off a little early, just be like, hey man, hey guys, for the next month or so, let's sacrifice. If everybody gets back before 3 o'clock, at least let's do like 1 hour of door hangers. I know normally guys get off early, but this is what's going to help pay our bills in December, January, and February.
Right.
And so
Right.
if we can get all more customers now, we'll be way busier, especially with the snow removal and all the other stuff, like in the winter time frame. It's only going to help us out. And it's only going to be for a month. If anybody gets done before 3, yeah, I think you could maybe do that.
Right. And I think too, because I think one reason why I never use them because I'm like, oh, am I going to pay the guys and then they're just going to throw them away and say they handed them out? But I guess now I'm thinking about it too. Let them do it. Make sure they put their names on it, and again, that perpetuity thing will just come right back at them. So they're going to make sure they want to put these door hangers down.
Yeah, or you can designate one person for like that whole month that it's going to be busy, and then just geographically, like you're like a big main road that runs north and south, just have him pass flyers out on the right side. And then if you get one more guy, like I'm talking about the guys that like walk fast, those are the ones you
Right.
want your door
Right. Right.
hangers, the skinny
Right.
dudes with long legs, right?
Right. Right.
And
Right.
then have another guy on the left side, and then you just tell them, hey, any customers that like we're gonna look at this in 5 to 6 weeks, we're gonna pull a report, and when we pull the report, all the customers that booked that got a door hanger, everybody that did it on the right side, you're gonna get a $25 bonus.
Mm-hmm.
If you get 10 customers, that's $250 bonus you're gonna get.
Right. Right. Right.
If the guy on the left walked fast and did way more door hangers and got us 20 customers, he's going to get
Right.
$500 bonus at the end of the month.
Right. 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 What would you just? I mean, I know you said during the whatever, anytime they finish early, but I guess once a month or something, because of course we don't want to be those pizza menus on our doors every day.
I would print off a map of the location, and then they can or sometimes they do it on their phone. Actually, they just screenshot the Google map, and then they like take a highlighter and just highlight the neighborhoods they already did, so they're not hitting the same ones.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
sounds good. All right. Appreciate that. Yeah, because like I said, just something I don't think about. But I know it's good because everyone obviously watching videos. Everyone says door hangers, door hangers, door hangers, and I was like, yeah. But then I see that no soliciting sign, and I'm like, okay, never mind.
Yeah, those ones you want to skip. Those ones you want to skip because you can get in
Yeah,
trouble doing that. But
yeah,
no, man, I think with you getting the wraps and then you doing those door hangers, like you guys are gonna crush it. There's no reason once you get those wraps and stuff. I mean, that'll significantly help if you do the door hangers at the right time and just make the goal like, hey, we're gonna order 5,000 of them. Let's get them all out within the first 3 weeks of the grass starting to grow, dude. You'll be solid. You'll get 25 customers off that. I'd be willing to bet
cool.
on
Nice.
5,000 of them.
All right, yeah. They just feel like just presenting that. Maybe I guess if I'm not going to be around, I guess whoever's in charge, whoever's the crew leader, just like, hey, look, make sure you guys are getting these done every so often, every week, a certain
or you can like on a team meeting, like you designate 1 week. Hey guys, like this whole week, whether it's a weekly or bi-weekly, okay, this whole week we're doing 5 rounds on all the door hangers. It's just or on every stop. It just is what it is. Like,
right. Okay.
We're gonna give you guys a stack, and like something like that, you probably don't need to give bonuses. But if you hire somebody that is gonna go hand out flyers for 6 hours straight, I would definitely give bonuses because like they're gonna otherwise just put those things in the trash and be like,
right.
I'm not doing this.
Right. And then I guess that's my fear too. How do you know? I mean, I guess you just got to trust somebody until they show you otherwise. But they could say they passed for 6 hours, but then how do you really know? Like,
number one, trust. Number two, you incentivize them for every new customer that signs up. So we do $50 bonus instead of 25. So we do 50. So it sounds way better because again, if they get 10 customers in a week or two, that's $500 bonus, and I'm willing to pay that because we just want to grow. And so
the value of that client is good.
And so you want to trust them. Give them the incentive pay to not throw it out. And then number three, if you are kind of like on the edge, you're just, hey man, by the way, I am going to check at the end of the day and drive around and do some spot checks. So I must see flyers especially on the neighborhoods that you tell me you got done.
All right. And you don't think that would go like, they wouldn't take that as an insult? Like, wow, you don't trust me that much that you're just going to tell me that you're going to drive around. I mean, obviously there's sensitive people all around. So, I mean, maybe I'm thinking too much into it. I mean, if they're sensitive, they're sensitive. If they're not, they're not. But
yeah, I mean, that's not how necessarily I operate. I always give them the benefit of the doubt. I will trust somebody 100% until they give me a reason not to here. So I personally wouldn't use that tactic. I would lean into the tactic of you're going to get 50 instead of 25. I'm going to give you $50. I'm on your team. Like, dude, let's put it out as many of these as possible. In fact, let's go to the neighborhoods that have really small yards so you can get more customers and you can get $50. Let's start there. And then if we have time, we'll go to the bigger yard neighborhoods. But let's start with the ones that are backyard only because the HOA takes care of the front. Let's just smack those out. Like you put 80 of those out in an hour. Might get one customer from that.
Right. Okay. That sounds good. Because especially if I'm going to do a bunch of part-time anyways, they need hours. Hey, get this done for the day.
Yeah. And sell to them like that. Be like, hey man, like you can hand out 80 of these an hour. In the busy season, springtime, when this is a demand and the grass is starting to grow, these phones are ringing off the hook, dude. There's no reason why you can't get one customer every hour, maybe every couple hours. So if I'm giving you a $50 bonus and you hand out 400 flyers that day, dude, you're probably you're walking away with your base pay plus probably another $150. I mean, you're probably going to gain us 3 customers that day.
Right.
So like you're going to make like 225, maybe 250 in a day.
Yeah.
Like
and easier work than mowing.
Yeah, well, the flyer, dude, there's a lot of steps. There's a lot of say that they're gonna walk 8 to 10 miles a day to flyers. That's what I say. You got to get the skinny guys that walk a lot.
Yeah.
And then they're quick.
And then of course with that, I offer one of my like a truck. Like I was gonna get a small truck anyways for like small jobs and stuff like that. So I should let them use like if I do get that, let them use my vehicle, not their own, right? Because then
you could there's times where if the truck's like being used, we just have them. Here's a stack. Here's 2 stacks of flyers. Take your personal vehicle. Just park it out there.
Nobody complains about that, saying, "Hey, you're gonna pay me 67 cents a mile," none of that stuff. No, okay, cool. I'm sorry, I'm just used to like complainers. So, okay, cool.
I mean, you could reimburse them. It's kind of a hassle from a logistics standpoint because you gotta give me your miles at the beginning, and we've done that before. Like we normally offer, but then half of the time they don't remember to send us the mileage anyway, so it doesn't get done. But it's probably like probably like $1.50 or $2. Like
okay. Yeah. No, it sounds good. And then I guess like instead of wondering what ifs, I should just do it And then if it happens, then I'll deal with it then.
Yeah,
Cool.
and if they ask, sure. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, we can give you a mile. I think it's like 50 cents a mile, 56 cents a mile. I would
Yeah.
just look up whatever the state regulations are.
Yeah. Okay. Appreciate it. I know you said you have to head out earlier, which is absolutely fine because freeze for me, and anytime's good time. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do think that I was watching that one of the videos, and I just saw I saw that. I was like, oh snap! Let me help your call. So I've been telling a lot of people about that. So just in case.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. Well, Eric, I appreciate you coming on. Yeah, I gotta get going here, but
Yeah.
dude, you asked a lot of really good questions, and yeah, man, I think with those two big things, with the wraps and some some door hangers and stuff, you
Right.
guys are gonna crush it this year, and yeah, man, really good questions, really good
Okay.
questions.
Awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for your time, Will, and keep crushing it yourself. I didn't say you've been juggling that two locations, but obviously you're giving good advice. So just remember, take your own, because what is that? The worst enemy is yourself, right? Is that what they say? Something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
So,
yeah. No, I
so
need to, dude. We just ordered 20,000 door hangers, so we're leaning into it hard
that's
this
it.
year.
At least 50. Come on, 50. No.
I should. Dude, we already put out 800. Yeah, we already put out 800. Dude, we didn't get a single call, even
Yeah.
though it was like 80 degrees last week. But again, it's timing. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
I preach it from the rooftops. It's all about timing. And so we're gonna pump the brakes for the next 2 weeks because the temps are dipping down below 32 degrees. But yeah, dude, like right when the grass starts growing,
Right. Right.
imperative it's
Yeah.
imperative to get as many flyers out in that short duration as possible.
Right. Right.
That's when that stuff works.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe when I start doing mulch, like in mid March, I'll have whoever it is just go out on that location and just throw out all these flyers and
Exactly. Get
yeah.
all 5,000 out within that 2 to 3 week window,
Right. Right.
dude. You'll
Yeah.
you'll get 25 customers from that.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's good. It's good. Okay. No. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely try that out with the flyers or not with flyers, door hangers and everything else, and I'm sure it's gonna go somewhere. So that's good. Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely. Cool,
Appreciate it.
man.
Will.
Well,
Yeah,
have
man.
a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there.
Yep, I will, man. 2 in the morning. Start that shoveling.
Absolutely.
All right. Talk to you, man.